My name is Jim Youdale. I live in Cleator Moor in West Cumbria, and I was one of the founder members of the Cleator Moor Credit Union, and we were registered in 1995, which seems an awful long time ago now, certainly to me. The Cleator Moor Credit Union itself was formed as an initiative from the local churches. Three of the local clergy were very concerned about the situation concerning poor families in their parishes, particularly relating to the cycle of dependency on doorstep lending, and in some cases even worse, loan sharks. So they thought that one of the ways they could help would be to establish a credit union, which they did. And in the early days, we started from very, very humble beginnings. We had no office, no equipment as such, no computers. It was all manual. Our collection points were church porches and church halls. I must admit, until I was asked to join as a founder member, I'd never heard of credit unions. So it was like, this is interesting. But the more we got involved in it, it was almost like a Martin Luther King-esque type situation, that I have a dream. We managed to get some funding to help develop and train other groups, other steering groups in West Cumbria, principally Whitehaven, Workington and Maryport. And we gave advice to others in Carlisle and Penrith and South Lakes. But we continued, and we soon found that our original idea of developing or addressing the initial problem, which was dependency on doorstep lending, we weren't having much success. Perhaps we ought to merge. And the first merger was Workington merged with Maryport to become the Youdale Credit Union. And then shortly after that, Youdale merged with Cleator Moor to become the West Cumbria Credit Union. And eventually, Penrith, South Lakes merged with the West Cumbria Credit Union to become Affinity. And our common bond expanded to the whole of Cumbria. And even with that expansion, we still faced the same basic problem, that we weren't able to expand our loan portfolio fast enough in order to generate sufficient revenue. Pretty stark, really. Either cease trading or find a strong and willing partner to merge with, Pennine Credit Union. And this we did. And we clearly, from that point on, had quite a lot of discussions with the board members, with the chief officer, Catherine Fogg. And what we felt was this would be an ideal position for us if we could, in fact, join such what seemed to be, at that stage, a safe and welcoming organization. The only drawback that we saw, and our members were concerned about, that the merger with Pennine obviously would result in all virtual contact rather than any physical presence at that time. And that was a cause for concern with a lot of our members. And at that time, Catherine reassured us that they would be able to respond, communicate, and turn around requests in fairly quick order, which was something we had all of us had struggled with in the past, and that in fact helped to sort of calm some of the concerns that some of the members had. At that time, one of my neighbours, close neighbour from where I'm sitting now, who used to use me as a channel to the credit union. If she had a problem, she gave it to me first for take it to the credit union on her behalf. And I was quite happy to do that, and I solved all our problems. But when we came to the question of joining or merging with Pennine, I said, I'm sorry, but I can't be your go-between anymore. But I said, I'm not sure that from the chief executive of Pennine, they'll solve all your problems better than I did. And she was a bit dubious. But since that time, mentioned credit union to her. Oh, the lovely people. And I'm pretty sure she gets on well with them. She said, no problem. When you contact them, speak to them, say they'll do something, it turns around just as they say. To use given our background and our start, to use a sort of an ecclesiastical analogy, I certainly thought we'd arrived in the promised land. And because I never imagined in my wildest dreams that we would be part of an organization that such as Pennine is today. I just didn't think it was possible. Our dreams were nowhere near where we are now. So each time I get the annual report, I sort of have to pinch myself and say, gosh, is this true? When you talk about 15,000 accounts, you talk about shares of over 15 million, loans of 9 million. I mean, these are figures that we just didn't really expect at all. And then when you talk about growth of membership by 22% or something of that order, I'm just saying, yeah, this definitely is the promised land. So I'm grateful personally, from my personal point of view, I am grateful that we had the opportunity to join with Pennine, and all the reassurances that we were given when we made the approaches have come to fruition in spades. And I'm not suggesting that we should rest on our laurels, because there's still a long way to go. There's still a lot of people in Cumbria that we need to get back into the credit union movement. It is rewarding to be a member of such an organization, and I'm quite proud to be so. I think there's an awful lot of congratulating to do for the board that is obviously committed to this project and have been most helpful in taking us on board and giving us the opportunity that we actually wouldn't have got in any other way, I don't think. But also the staff and the service that we get. And I know from personal experience, I ring up, I know I'm going to get a positive response from Pennine. I just know that's my experience. And I think to give this level of performance, you need to have good leadership. And I think the chief executive, Catherine, is doing a marvelous job leading the organization. And I in fact did write to her once the report came out and said that I would be at the AGM and I would give it a wave. I didn't know how I was going to do that, but maybe this is my occasion. Well done, Catherine. Keep it up. And I think that's my message. And please bear with me. I'm not very good at talking up to my laptop, but onwards and upwards. And I look forward to next year's report. Thank you very much.